Hello, Lamaze members. It's Alice Turner here, back with another President's Message. At Lamaze headquarters right now, our staff and our volunteers are busy preparing for the upcoming Virtual Advocacy Summit, and that's going to take place September 27th through the 29th. I personally just registered for the summit, and during that process, there were a few questions asking me about my experience with advocacy, and it really got me thinking. I immediately thought of three different types of advocacy. First, self-advocacy. So being a childbirth educator and a doula, I think this is one of the easiest for me. The skills that I've learned in my work have allowed me to have confidence representing myself and my views and interests most of the time. So those self-advocacy skills are something that we as childbirth educators teach our students. I'm sure you do the same. The second type of advocacy that I have had experience with is advocating for a loved one. So last year, my mother-in-law faced some really serious mental health challenges from a head injury, and the advocacy skills that I learned in birth work really translated well to being her advocate, even with those crazy challenges of doing it without any access to the hospital due to the pandemic. Now, the third type of advocacy is advocating for policy change. And this one's a hard one for me. Advocacy efforts to change laws and policies and practices, it's such a slow process and it requires efforts from many people. And in the past, I have been involved in a few advocacy efforts that didn't really work out. I spent time on a campaign to help license home birth midwives in the state of Georgia, for example, years ago, and we really weren't able to make any progress on those laws. Now, this type of advocacy isn't quick and can be frustrating. Advocacy usually takes time, dedication, patience, persistence. When trying to change the system, we have to build relationships, we have to learn how things are done, and we have to try out various strategies. Lamaze began our advocacy efforts in earnest within the U.S. Congress a few years ago, and we've maintained a presence, with the exception of last year, for a few years now. And these efforts don't come with immediately satisfying results, but they are making an impact. Adding the voice of our organization to important bills like the Momnibus really does matter. These advocacy efforts of Lamaze are something that sets this childbirth organization apart from the rest. And personally, it's something that makes me proud to be an LCCE. Now, there's a quote from Nelson Mandela that I love, and I think it really speaks to this process of advocating for big policy change. And the quote says, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Now, I hope you'll consider attending the Advocacy Summit next month to help build up your knowledge and skills in this area, because we know that there is a lot of work to do to improve birth in our communities, and your voice can really make a difference. Hope to see you there. Bye, everybody.